Now remember, ladies, if he's gonna act like a boy, go find yourself a man.
Facts, 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 facts. All facts, no printer. Oh, hello.
Welcome to the wall. Women, with their damn impossible standards, have pushed millions of men out of the dating market. Today we'll see it clearly. A woman openly says she doesn't date short guys, and not only that, we're also going to expose how dangerous misandry among women has become, the most toxic side of today's feminism.
I was just thinking about this. I don't know why, but like some women dead ass are attracted to men that are smaller than them. Like that literally makes me want to die so bad. If I if I can't look at you and you don't look like you could kill a motherfucker, no. But then there's like these girls that are like in love with guys like Timothy Chamoy Pickle, whatever his last name is, and they like are dead ass like attracted to that, and I'm genuinely so confused because I'm like, bro, if you can't ba or da someone, I mean, stay like it must be something in the water because I'm like, why do you not want to be with a man that like you look at them and you're like, yeah, he could fucking kill someone if it came down to it. You know what I mean? Like, what?
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
So I saw something rather troubling today, and it was on this post right here. And that's not what was troubling. It was the most popular comment that happened to be on that video. Let's take a look at that. And unfortunately, it came as no surprise whatsoever of how popular that comment was. Over 6,000 people, in fact, almost 7,000 people liked that comment and apparently agree with that idea. And a person really has to ask themselves, what is wrong with a lot of people? Why would any person ever celebrate such a thing or encourage that in another human being? There is a serious disconnect out there with a lot of individuals in regards to reality and their humanity. And it is more important now than ever that men, especially, speak up about their mental health. It is very important because misandry is an ever-growing popular trend, and it is very real, and it does so much more than hurt feelings. But apparently, that's being celebrated. It's time we put a stop to this.
Let's be for real. If you have had kids, you're an NPC. Or if you're planning to have a kid, you're an NPC. If you have had kids but you kind of regret it, you're like, I'm so sorry to my kids. I feel so bad for having these kids. Then you're awake, and that's good. It's a good sign. You can face yourself and your fucking mistakes. But if you know deep down that it's not the right thing, but you won't admit it, you're still an NPC. But especially if you're having kids now, you're definitely an NPC.
Fuck up, you crazy bitch whore!
Hot take, but many women actually do seek the validation of men. And there's nothing wrong with it. It's just that as women, we are taught that our worth depends on the validation from a random dude until we question that. And believe me that I have been there. And it was not easy to admit that to myself. But it's not a conscious choice. It's rather a pattern of worrying when he might text back or wanting to be liked by that hot dude or being scared of being disliked. And it is because deep down, we believe that our worth depends on someone else. That's exactly why I do what I do, because every single woman deserves the best partner, a healthy body, a peaceful life, whatever it is that you desire, you deserve it. And not enough women can see that. But I think it should be the standard and not the standard being the bare minimum.
Misandry among women is on the rise. This is the toxic side of feminism, that brainwashing given to women that now has them saying the world would be better off without men or that they don't care about male loneliness. That's ironic coming from the group that talks about it the most, since it's mostly women who do. But it's shocking because wishing harm on an entire group just because some can't find a partner is brutal brainwashing. Just look at how that girl demeans a man for being short, as if all tall men were dangerous. I don't know if she's looking for safety, but what's truly dangerous is when they start belittling women who choose to be mothers and try to make them feel bad about the decisions they made. That always comes from lonely, sad women nobody wants. And like the last woman, they always have this speech in their heads that they deserve the best, because we all deserve the best, without contributing anything or making an effort to have a good relationship.
Anybody else's boyfriend makes 3 racks of ribs on a Monday after he works and churro cheesecake cookies. Can I have a cookie?
Rachel is the first one that has to get one because she wanted them. She's been dead.
Rachel's our 6-year-old daughter.
Yeah, and I made those cookies because she wanted me to, and I wanted her to feel special. So she gets to have the first one, so she feels special. You can't have it.
That makes sense. That's very nice.
This is so messed up because that dad spent time making something special for his daughter, and the mom knowingly gets in the way of it by stealing a cookie. And let's be clear, it's not because she really wanted a cookie. She could have made her own cookies or gone to the store. The mom did this intentionally, which indicates that she wanted to prevent that moment, that core memory of her daughter feeling unconditional love from her father.
The ways in which a man is capable of switching up on you after a breakup needs to be genuinely studied, because what is that? I was dating a guy at one point for almost 2 years, and, I was the love of his life. I was his future wife. I was this, I was that. He saw everything with me. I was his boo, whatever. Fast forward to almost 2 years later, he breaks up with me because he had a lot going on. His dog died 8 years ago, daylight savings time. I don't even know. Less than 72 hours after he broke up with me, he was booed up with my best friend of 8 years. I'm not making that up.
You know what's wild? Nearly every productivity system, every morning routine, even the 9-to-5 workday was designed around a man's hormonal cycle, not yours. If you're a woman or were assigned female at birth, your body doesn't work that way. A man's testosterone cycle rises in the morning, peaks midday, and drops at night. That cycle repeats every 24 hours. If you were born with a uterus, however, your hormone system goes through a 28-day cycle, give or take. Sometimes it's a little bit longer or shorter. Your productivity is tied to that. And if you're exhausted and burned out, you're not failing. You probably just don't understand the way your body works. Not to mention, this capitalistic society was not made for you. Work, 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 be a machine. Not good for you. Estrogen, progesterone, luteinizing hormone, these things shape how your energy and productivity are going to look. And they change when you need rest. When we try to live every day like you should feel the same, our bodies rebel. Fatigue, burnout, anxiety, PMS that gets worse every cycle. It's not just being hormonal, you're out of rhythm. You aren't lazy or inconsistent, you just have a cycle. Follow along for the rest of this series where we learn how to work with this instead of against this.
Imagine spending hours in the kitchen preparing something special, just so your 6-year-old daughter can feel her father's love. And your own partner, out of pure envy or insecurity, sabotages that moment in front of everyone. That's not stealing a cookie. It's stealing a memory of unconditional love from your daughter. If your best friend of 8 years steals your boyfriend 72 hours after you break up, the problem isn't him or how fast he moved on. The problem is you trusted a snake for 8 years. Choose your circle better, because you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Now it turns out the problem isn't a lack of discipline, but that capitalist society was designed by men. Funny, when they want equal pay, capitalism is justice. When it's time to perform equally, suddenly it's biological oppression. They just don't know what they want. Let's check out some interesting comments from these videos. Nobody deserves nothing. Everything is earned. Anything you get unearned should be a red flag, and if it's ignored, don't cry when you get cheated on. To all my brothers, you matter. You have a purpose. That is why you're still here. You survived all the darkest hours you never thought you would. Don't let hateful people and women tear you down. Men's mental health have been brushed aside and ignored for way too long. They hurt just as much as girls. As someone struggling with their own head, this is sad. There are a million systems and avenues to help women. Next to none for men. We are supposed to just deal with it and carry on. 20 years later, the mother is upset her daughter has gone no contact. I will never understand mothers who compete with their daughters. Glad my mom is not like that. I remember when my ex said she was jealous of her daughter because I loved her. Our daughter. A lot of people missing that the moment he was trying to share was also for him. Even if the daughter wouldn't know, he would know because she stole it from him after he told her it was important to him. He literally put his daughter above his wife. There should be a hierarchy in a family, parents first, then kids. You're teaching kids to be spoiled and disrespectful. My wife does this. It is getting on my nerves. Too much competition for no reason, and all I ask is why. He explained clearly, and she wanted just to destroy this moment just by egoism. It'd make me real mad in the second, so much that all house would wake up at once. Women want the bears, and we want you to subscribe and help us hit 1,000 likes on this video. Don't forget to leave your opinion in the comments. It's important to us. Alright then, let's get back to the video.
Okay, so this is for the girls, and this is not to say that it doesn't also work both ways and that a woman could also do this, but this is just for women. How a man acts when he's single is so much more a reflection of his character than how he acts in a relationship. Just because he's a loyal man and he's just a great man when he's in a relationship doesn't mean he's a good person. And I could be wrong. Disclaimer, bro. I'm 19 years old. I don't know shit. I could be completely wrong. But hear me out, okay? This is a theory of mine. Okay, wait. When a man is in a relationship, he's driven... He's held back / driven by rules, boundaries, and the respect and love he has for his significant other. So he could easily, there are good men out there in relationships. I'm not really speaking for the men who are like, I don't know, it could be both. But just because he's a great man in a relationship doesn't mean he's a good man to marry. Okay? When men are single, they are held back by nothing but their own moral compass. They're held back by nothing but their own boundaries that they create for themselves. If they are like, oh, he's such a player, he lies, he's deceitful, he's overly lustful, overly sexual, has sex with multiple women at a time, lies to women, hurts women, and it's all just because he's single and he can do what he wants and yada yada, whatever the fuck. No, he's just a bad person. How are you a bad person when you're single, but you're a good person when you're in a relationship? That doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all. So hear me out. I'm thinking marriage down the line. Let's say you choose this amazing man, right? You're choosing this amazing man to marry. 10 years go down. You have kids. You have so many kids. It's still going great. But now you're 20, 30 years down, right? Marriages are very rocky. You have good times and bad times. It's completely normal. But let's say you're going through a super, super rocky time. And maybe it's like a month, a few months, or maybe a year of really bad rockiness. And both of your respect and love for each other starts to fade a little bit. And I know it sounds sad, but it's very common. It's very, very common. And it's pretty natural for there to be, like, after so many years, it's natural for there to be fluctuations, right? But naturally, that love and respect fades from both of you, right? But this man is driven by his love and respect for you. That's what's making him a good person right now. That's what's making him a good man right now. If that love and respect fades, his character when he's single is going to pop out. Because now that he's not driven by his love and respect for you anymore, he's now only driven by his own moral compass, which does not exist. He doesn't have one. So with that being said, even though your love and respect might fade out the relationship, you still were a good person as a single person. You still have a moral compass that you live by, and you're still respectful no matter what. It's just you. That's your character. That's why it's so important to know what type of person they are when they're single. And then you're going to be 20, 30 years down the line. Like, how did this happen? How did I get dogged out so bad after so many kids, so many years, so much shared memories, so much love, so much trust that had to be built? How could this happen to me? I see it all the time. I see it all the time. It happened with my mom and my dad. You know what I mean? Like, and that's my theory. Take it or leave it. I will not be marrying a man who I know was a terrible person when he was single. Do with that information what you will.
God damn it! You can't make this shit up!
She's speaking purely from imagination. She's 19 and already labeling and disqualifying men like she's got a PhD in life. But the worst part is she makes a 4-minute video to say absolutely nothing useful. If that's your selection criteria, I can already imagine your choice. The current Chad, the one you'll give your best years to, only to confirm, 15 years later, the theory you just made up today. In short, a teenager with no real experience just discovered that men aren't saints and thinks that makes her a philosopher. Spoiler, the only thing she's discovered is that she'll also be a statistic in a few years. Because, princess, keep applying that infallible criteria. A few years from now, let us know how it went marrying the reformed womanizer who, conveniently, after taking you for a ride on the carousel, ends up leaving you at the wall. As everyone knows, the wall doesn't forgive. We've reached the end of the video, but before we go, the questions are for you. What do you think of the woman who says she can't date short men? What's your opinion of the mother who eats the cookie the father made for his daughter? If you liked the video, hit like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell. Your support means a lot to us and motivates us to keep creating more content. Stay tuned for the next video from the wall.